My name is Yuri Papalea. As a queer artist, I am often read as emotionally available, intuitive, and endlessly giving. This perception, part projection, part survival strategy, shapes the core of my practice. My work resists the assumption that softness means surrender. Instead, I ask, what does it mean for a queer body to remain visible, to hold its own weight, and to refuse erasure, especially in moments of crisis or care? My practice is rooted in performance, documentation, and the emotional traces of the body. I use vulnerability as material, my heartbeat, pain, memory, and medical history, to explore what it means to exist fully without needing to perform resolution. The performances are often slow, durational, and intimate, creating space for presence rather than spectacle. I began performing not to become an artist, but to survive an emotional rupture. My first work, a live amplification of my heartbeat while repeatedly copying hospital records, became a refusal to disappear into silence. Since then, I've continued to ask, how do we archive tenderness, absence, or grief? How do we stay present, even when it hurts? Much of my work is about staying, about the quiet insistence that we matter, even when we're not easily understood. I create spaces where emotional truth can exist without justification, where fatigue, care, and contradiction are held, not fixed. I make work because I don't want to vanish. I want to leave a trace. I was here, you were here, and that mattered. The Queer Oracle is Tired is a performance of magical encounter that usually we do with an oracle or fortune teller. The queerness of these interactions is how the oracle is tired and refused to be the one giving answers. Traditionally, oracles are seen as holders of answers. Yet, in this space, power is returned to those seeking answers. The tired oracle offers no certainty or comfort, only reflection and redirection. Visitors who come seeking clarity are instead invited to face themselves. They must remain still, witness their own patterns, and take responsibility for their emotional labor, rather than escaping through mysticism. This project emerges from my growing concern that spirituality and mysticism are increasingly used merely as shortcuts to cope with emotional discomfort. While magic may offer a sense of wonder or relief, these spaces often risk erasing personal accountability. I am deeply interested in the reality that vulnerability, originally a vessel for self-awareness and reflection, has become a kind of tool for control, to seek affirmation, to avoid facing deeper, quieter, and more painful truths, or even to assert power. This performance queers the emotional labor of the oracle, with the hope of redefining care, presence, and availability within limits that are more sustainable and truthful.